And all the marketing, of course, was built around Stone Cold Steve Austin challenging The Rock for the World Heavyweight Championship. Steve Austin had been the biggest name of the Attitude Era. Rock was right on his heels, and Austin had missed most of the last year with a neck injury.
Yeah.
And he had come back and won the Royal Rumble. It was all built around, the cagey veteran and him. His quest, he needed that title back. He needed to get back on the mountain, trying to take down, the young upstart, The Rock, who was kind of the king of the jungle at this moment. Fantastic. And the match itself is great. It's to me, easily the best of their WrestleMania matches. And as far as I can remember, the best of their matches, period.
Yeah.
Love the match. Even the ending of the match, except for the Stone Cold Steve Austin heel turn, which I believe we've spoken about before. And that, to me, is the biggest catalyst of anything for the end of the Attitude Era and the downturn of business overall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't completely just blame it on that, obviously. And it's just...
But it was a significant
It was very
thing.
significant. And there were so many other factors going on. And then you see Jim Ross and Paul Heyman, the former owner of Extreme Championship Wrestling. Everybody knows him now, of course, as the manager for the Visionary and the advocate for Brock Lesnar and whatnot. ECW, the company he was running... He does have a ponytail.
Okay.
The company that Paul was running at the time, ECW, had just gone out of business. Like, literally this very same month or the month before.
Yeah.
Just like the WWF's main competitor, World Championship Wrestling, which we've talked about, that had grown out of the ashes of Jim Crockett Promotions and rose up to actually be the number one promotion in the country for just a little while on top of the World Wrestling Federation. But they had also gone out of business just before this had happened. And so those are some of the things that played into it. We'll get into in a minute.
Shots there.
Yeah, Chris Jericho coming out. Chris Jericho. I used to be a big fan, but I think he's kind of a douchebag now. He seems a little too MAGA for my taste.
I know somebody else who used to be a big fan of his and doesn't care for him anymore.
Probably not for the same reasons, though.
I don't know. Maybe.
This is him defending the Intercontinental Championship, and I am not a fan of that Intercontinental Championship belt. The one that preceded is one of the all-time classics. This one was just meh.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good opening bout. I think it got like 2 stars, 2.5 stars. I have the star ratings from...
I like his jacket, honestly.
Dave Meltzer.
Nice and
2
sparkly,
stars.
rainbow.
He's going to be defending the championship against William Regal, a.k.a. Steven Regal, a.k.a.
He's too shiny.
Darren something.
He looks like a Ken doll.
He's got like that rock star gimmick going on.
I just don't like the shininess. It looks like plastic. The jacket looks less like plastic, and it's probably more plastic than he is. What are your thoughts on his shininess?
He's very shiny.
He is, but it's like a smooth shiny. I don't like it.
That jacket is very shiny.
Oh, I like the jacket. Yeah, it does, and I like the jacket a lot.
He's
it's
like
very rainbow, very
his special
softly.
move. He's a close up into a ball and is a disco ball.
Sonic Jericho?
At one
Armadillo?
point,
Armadillo?
At one point in our past, in his future, Jericho would have a jacket with actual like LED lights on it that would light up.
Interesting. Not sure how I feel about that idea. I was gonna ask, when did it become WWE?
About a year after this.
Damn. But it was briefly WWF during my life.
Yes. And here we see William
Yes.
Regal coming out. Very well-respected competitor.
No,
this
he doesn't.
this match was built on an angle
Black eye, though.
during which Regal was the commissioner and Jericho pees in his tea.
Ew. He's got a shiny disco ball lust jacket thing. Sure.
Yeah, no, that was Jericho's style at the time.
Disco ball?
Just shiny.
Including himself.
Very shiny.
Everything must shine.
Remember, like I said, this is still Attitude Era, so him peeing in Regal's tea, that doesn't seem over the top. I hope they didn't
Probably not.
I hope they... Yeah, here we go. There we go. Here's the shot where Jericho's gonna... I mean, he's not really peeing in, of course. Ooh, they didn't really show it. I wonder if that was edited from the actual broadcast.
I never watched it.
At most, he turned his back to the camera, pretended to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't swear it was in the actual review of the show, but Regal's facial expressions were great. Yeah, that was a real wrestler, Doink. Matt Bourne
yes, I
most
remember
famously
Doink.
performed as him, and they had Jericho run out in the guys and go after Regal.
Yeah. Lots of
weapon shots.
Yes.
Yeah, well, this is the Attitude Era. It was
very true. I would expect nothing less from the Attitude Era.
I think it's actually probably more common in the current wrestling scene.
Maybe. But if you show me Attitude Era and there's not stuff like that going on, I don't want to watch it.
But you do expect that to pop up at the time. Like I said, this was a really interesting time, getting back to what I was saying at the beginning.
Young.
You said Jericho looks
yes.
young? He was relatively young. He just started wrestling in like 1990, and he would have been,
It's 11 years later.
Okay, but he's in his early 30s at most.
Fair.
Very late 20s or early 30s.
Fair.
So, he's still younger than me. Well, he's
at
younger
this time.
at that time than I am now.
Yes.
He's older than me in real life.
By how much?
I don't know. I think he's.
You say what you were going to say, then I'll find that information.
I'm sure he's in his 50s.
Probably, at least.
But anyway, WWF and WCW had the Monday Night Wars and the big rivalry for several years prior to this. And then when Time Warner, the company that at that point had merged with Turner's companies, Turner being the owner of World Championship Wrestling and the stations on which the wrestling aired, they merged with or were bought by or whatever AOL, and then the new CEO, I believe it was Jamie Kellner, decided he didn't want wrestling on the Turner Network. So without a home, WCW, which had been up for sale, was kind of just a fish out of water. It was kind of floundering, and then WWF was able to swoop in and purchase it for a very low purchase price, something like $2.5 million.
Yeah,
which is very low for a major wrestling.
I was going to say extremely
that's
expensive.
That's why WWE owns all the archives now.
Mm-hmm.
Which was really the major acquisition they got there. But they had purchased the company. ECW had just gone out of business, and before the end of the year, WWF would own all the rights to ECW as well. So they had basically taken over the wrestling world in North America at this point. And that would be part of their undoing, too, and part of the ending of the Attitude Era, not having that competition, really monopolizing the world of wrestling.
Yeah.
Of course, TNA would come to be, I believe, in 2003, if not 2002, and Ring of Honor would come around a few years later. And, of course, AEW would come around, in 2019. But at this point, it was the WWF, and that was it.
Yeah.
And you would think winning the war against your competition would put you in a better position, but it actually sort of, I think, contributed to their downfall. Not that they were ever.
They definitely could have.
Business has competition.
And like I say, turning Stone Cold Steve Austin heel, killing the Golden Goose, was a huge mistake. And I'll get into it. I think it was a mistake to do it, period. But I think the way they did it was also a mistake. And I don't think doing it better would have necessarily saved the company. But maybe if they'd still done it better, or maybe if they'd waited. And of course, they botched the WCW invasion angle that they ended up doing. At this point in storyline, Shane McMahon, Vince's son, is the owner of WCW. He had signed the contract out from under Vince. Even though I thought they missed an opportunity to have their match at WrestleMania be for control of the company.
Mm-hmm.
But Shane was leading WCW, and they were going to invade, and they were going to actually be presented as a separate company to be faux competition for the WWF. But then WWF got cold feet. They didn't like some of the other performances by WCW, and it ended up being an invasion angle, and ECW was mixed into it, and then it was Shane and Stephanie leading the invasion, which nobody really bought into, and it just all eventually kind of fizzled out. So again, lots of things sort of came together to sort of signal the end of the Attitude Era and this great bit of prosperity.
Yeah.
This wave that the WWF was running. To paraphrase Hunter S. Thompson, this to me is the point where that great wave finally broke and started to roll back. But they're still at their peak right now, man.
I just barely missed the Attitude Era.
This is like the crowning. This is like this is that crowning achievement. This is that peak moment, and then it all falls off after that.
Yes. Also, he's 55, by the way.
Jericho.
Yes. I didn't feel like looking at him long enough
I
to find out when his
I don't
birthday
want to
is.
be morbid. Jericho and Regal are both still with us. Referee Tim White, I believe, has passed on.
Okay.
Feels like every time we watch one of these shows, there's got to be like a death count.
There has to be.
I don't mean to be morbid.
Unless we're going to watch something that happened last week.
I just feel like we need to pay tribute to the people who passed on. It's not to be morbid or point out the high morbidity rate in professional wrestling.
I have a very sleepy cake on.
Yes, you do. And you're probably going to for all 4 hours.
Yes, I will.
No sleepy kitty cats in this match, unfortunately.
Have
there ever been cats doing anything?
Whenever we do anything, this cat just climbs on me and just falls asleep.
What did you ask? Did you ask me a question or did you make a statement?
Yes.
What did you say?
I was say, have cats ever done anything with wrestling officially?
Have cats ever done anything?
I doubt they're bringing cats into the ring for anything.
What do you mean by that?
People had dogs, birds, snakes. I don't remember anybody ever having a cat with them. There was a tiger at one point, but it wasn't a coming to wrestling. Because when they were doing, I think we watched that too, when they were doing the Black Scorpion bit in WCW, they had a thing where they made a girl disappear and a tiger appeared. So there's that. That's a big cat.
Yeah, big cat. What about house cats, though?
There was a wrestler named Big Cat, Ernie Ladd, and then Curtis Hughes used that name, Big Cat Curtis Hughes.
Cats are too good. They just couldn't live up to the expectation
There's
of a cat.
Jushin Thunder Liger, and Liger, of course, is a cross between a lion and a tiger.
A cat would steal all the
attention. I feel like one of the Japanese wrestlers or one of the Mexican wrestlers had like a cat theme to their masking.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say for sure off the top of my head.
Okay.
Regal looks like he's trying to pull off a double arm suplex from the top rope here. That's kind of impressive.
Okay.
Let's see if they... Yeah, they hit it too.
Damn.
Look at that.
He went flying.
It's a big high impact move. I mean, 10 years before this, a superplex from the top rope would have been a big high spot. This is a good solid opener.
What are these signs?
Steven, Jericho is God, TAS.
Steven, Melissa, Trey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Get your name on TV.
Yeah.
Paid a lot for those seats. Nowhere near.
It could be adults putting like their kids and nephews or something.
Nowhere near as much as people are
Nieces.
paying for wrestling tickets nowadays. But
I was gonna say you've sat fairly close to a ring before, haven't you?
yeah, I've never been to a pay-per-view. I don't think I have. Remember, I had the SmackDown tickets out here one time, and I think we paid like $22 or $25 a piece for front row tickets to SmackDown in 2003.
That's
And nowadays,
how much
WrestleMania
tickets.
front row tickets are like $75,000.
What the- Wait, how much did you pay at some point?
20. I think I'd have to go dig them out of the basement. But I think it was like $22 to $25.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
And again, those $75,000 that includes like a whole package of stuff.
Still,
But even an actual pair of tickets is probably going to be six figures. Not six figures, but
a
five
lot
figures.
of figures.
I bet they're going to cost over $10,000.
I don't know.
Maybe not that much, but they are ridiculously overpriced. They have completely priced out just the average fan at this point. Which I mean,
That's sad.
they barely do shows. It's not like they're doing a live show 6 days a week now like they used to. They only have to fill a stadium twice a week or an arena twice a week for their television shows, and then not even once a month for the PLEs. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of modern wrestling. I have to admit, it's not about they've changed. The creative kind of sucks. It doesn't feel like it used to, and they're kind of like I say, they're selling everything. And I mean that's more about the WWF than some of the other companies. The other companies have their own issues, but it's the WWF is the most. I'm sorry. I'm old school. It's WWF to me. I'll try to say WWE.
It was WWF for a lot more of your life than it was for me.
Jericho just got the win there. This was a solid opener. It's kind of short, though. It probably could have gone about twice as long and still felt very satisfying.
I think it's plenty short.
What?
I think it's plenty fine being short.
It was a good match, though.
Yeah.
They're two
Yeah,
good
that was
wrestlers.
a cool looking sign. It had a unique shape to it.
There's a lot more to this show.
Well, that's the thing, is they were. This was before the era of, like, 7-hour WrestleManias.
Yeah.
Even though this one's pushing 4 hours, but they had a lot of stuff to get to. So you kind of understand it, but you feel like this could have gone another 5 minutes.
Apparently, ticket sales this year are down 18% from last year.
Yeah, I've heard that. I mean, I think part of that was going back to Vegas again.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as exciting.
Mm-hmm. And it's expensive as fuck.
And part of it is, too, the creative sucks. WWE creative has sucked ever since they made the decision not to give Cody the belt at WrestleMania 39. And I'm not saying that's the whole problem, or like that was so bad in and of itself that it ruined everything. But from that point on, every good thing they've done has just kind of fallen into their lap, like the CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud and the emergence of Dominic. Most of the stuff they've done has not been good.
Yeah.